Last week, Trump gave Iran a 48-hour ultimatum to either reopen the Strait of Hormuz or lose their entire national infrastructure. The rhetoric from Washington was the total destruction. As we sit here today, the 48 hours have turned into a 5-day and then a 10-day extension with so-called positive feelings of achieving a deal. Trump may have presented this extension as an opportunity for diplomacy. However, in the structural reality of the empire, this is a retreat, at least until the US has better plans for the next stage of escalation. Trump did not extend the deadline because he found reasonable leaders to talk to, as he claimed. He extended it because Iran retaliation proved to be capable of hurting Israel and the US. Tehran did not surrender. They targeted Dimona. It threatened every US asset in the region. The extension is a sign that the US realized the high cost of this threat on its interests in the region. This retreat is the result of a deep-seated colonial miscalculation. Western powers have historically failed in the global south because their strategy is built on a racist understanding of the indigenous people. To the Pentagon and the Knesset, the native is backward, a coward who only understands violence. They believe that by assassinating political and religious leaders, they can destroy an entire society. They view our cultures as being driven by a single strong man, rather than as civilizations that structurally refuse to be subjugated. They thought killing the leadership would leave a vacuum of fear. Instead, they found popular support for the resistance that is more resilient than any one individual. We must also be honest about the hierarchy of the international system. For 2 years, Gaza has faced a televised genocide. The world watched the slaughter of tens of thousands of people, and yet no international community moved to stop it. Victimhood as a political category has failed. In Iran, we saw the same script. Leaders have been assassinated in broad daylight, without a single word of condemnation from the West. The so-called rule-based order was never a shield for the oppressed. It was always being used to manage the reaction to oppression. The only reason Trump is discussing deals today is because Iran materially showed its power to defend itself. Clearly, the empire does not respect suffering. It only respects friction. While Trump's deadline is paused, the US war machine is still mobilizing. The military-industrial complex is processing billions of dollars in emergency sales of weapons to reabsorb the wealth of the Gulf back into the American core. The US is positioning itself to control energy pipelines of the region to eventually have influence over the Chinese economy. The lesson for the region is clear. If the resistance in Iran and Lebanon disarms, it doesn't receive peace. It receives the same fate as the people of Gaza, who were left to die while the whole world deliberated Israel's right to defend itself. Iran is standing tall today, not because it was a victim, but because it refused to be one. Survival is not a gift. It's something you must uphold with your own hands.